Okay, so let's crack open a cold case, shall we? We're talking about one of the biggest predators ever. A shark that makes a great white look like, I don't know, a goldfish. We're on the hunt for the one and only megalodon.
I mean, it's a great question, right? Could a 70-foot shark still be out there? You see it in the movies, you hear the stories, and it's all propped up by this one argument that honestly seems pretty hard to argue with. And here it is. You've heard it a million times. We've only explored a tiny fraction of our oceans, like 5%. So the thinking goes, how can we possibly know what's hiding in the other 95%? And yeah, on the surface, that makes a ton of sense. But to really solve this thing, we can't just think about exploring. We've got to put on our detective hats. So, where do we start? Well, you don't start by looking for the shark itself. No, you start by looking for the massive, impossible to miss footprint it would leave on everything around it. A creature that big, it just can't be a ghost.
And this is such a great way to think about it. Someone could be in my house right now, and I might not be able to find them. But I'd see the signs, right? A cup left out, a light turned on. It's the same idea. A shark that huge couldn't hide its existence, even if it could hide its body. It would be leaving clues all over the place.
So, okay, what kind of clues are we talking about? Well, for starters, we'd see whale carcasses washing up on beaches with bite marks the size of a small car. And think about it. We have thousands of fishing boats, cargo ships, submarines, all with advanced sonar, crisscrossing the oceans 24/7. You'd think somebody would have pinged something enormous by now. But when we actually look for the evidence, the ecological crime scene is spotless. Nothing. Zilch.
Okay, so the indirect evidence, the footprint, it just isn't there. But what about the hard stuff? What about direct physical proof? Because for millions and millions of years, Megalodon left us a very, very clear trail to follow. And this is the crucial part. We don't need a body. See, a shark's whole story is told by its teeth. They shed thousands of them in a lifetime, and these things fossilize incredibly well. It's like they were leaving us a perfect breadcrumb trail through deep time.
Just look at this. The scale is mind-blowing. On the right, that's a tooth from a big great white, a seriously impressive predator. And then on the left, you have the megalodon tooth. I mean, come on, there is just no comparison. This isn't just a fossil, it's a calling card from an actual sea monster.
And here's the thing, we find these teeth everywhere, all over the planet. For almost 20 million years, we have this clear, continuous record of Megalodon. The trail of breadcrumbs is solid. And then, poof, around 3.6 million years ago, the trail just goes cold. It stops. The breadcrumbs just run out. So, if all the evidence says it's gone, our investigation pivots to the next big question, right? The classic whodunit, or, in this case, a whatdunit. What on earth could possibly kill the king?
Well, the science points to something more complex than a single killer. It looks like it was an ecological trap. See, Megalodon was a specialist. It was perfectly tuned for a specific kind of world, and that world was disappearing from under it. It got hit by a perfect storm. The climate changed, its food vanished, and new, scrappier competitors showed up on the scene. First up, the buffet closed. As the planet cooled and ice caps formed, the whole ocean ecosystem changed. And those medium-sized whales that were Megalodon's favorite meal, their numbers just plummeted. Its go-to food source was literally vanishing. And right when that was happening, new rivals moved into the neighborhood. You've got the great white shark. Smaller, yeah, but faster, more agile, and way less picky about what it ate. It started competing for what was left on the menu. At the same time, you have things like seals starting to thrive, which was perfect for these new, quicker predators. Poor Megalodon was just being out-hustled from every angle. So, the case seems pretty much closed, right? Footprint is gone, teeth trail runs cold, we even have a cause of death. But hold on, there is one final, incredible piece of evidence, and this might be the most powerful proof of all. And you can actually see it swimming in our oceans today. Think about it. What happens when you remove the undisputed heavyweight champion of the ocean? When the biggest, baddest predator on the block disappears, what happens to everybody else? Well, its prey got a get-out-of-jail-free card. With Megalodon gone, that constant evolutionary pressure to stay small enough and fast enough to escape, it just vanished.
There was no longer a school bus-sized monster to worry about, and so whales were suddenly free to get big, like really, really big.
And this, right here, is the final nail in the coffin. The fact that the blue whale even exists, the single largest animal to ever live on this planet, is maybe the best evidence we have that Megalodon is long gone. These absolute giants could only have evolved in an ocean that didn't have a predator big enough and bad enough to hunt them.
So there you have it. Case closed. The ecological footprint is gone. The trail of teeth went cold millions of years ago, and its absence literally cleared the way for the biggest animals in Earth's history to evolve. But it does leave us with one last nagging question. If the megalodon isn't hiding in that other 95%, what else is?